Okay, so one of the things that was cool about this tent was, like I said, it was $9.99 and it had free shipping. There was a few other ones that I looked at, pretty similar, that had $200, $250 in shipping. So, sorry if you're hearing vehicles. I'm kind of standing out here by the highway. I'm doing this in next to our shop. So I was like, if I'm going to go budget, let's just stick with the budget. So I went with one that had free shipping, and kind of just one of the reasons why I chose this one out of a couple of the other ones, like the Nature Nest. There was I can't remember the other names of brands that were on Amazon I saw, but I know Nature Nest was one of them. There's a few more. And what I found is it's a great tent. For $1,000, you cannot beat it. It is very well made. It's all aluminum. It's got extrusions right here, so you can attach stuff to it. The mounting, the way it mounts, I don't know if you can see that under there, works pretty good. It's pretty easy, much easier than my rough country tent was. The struts on this tent, so the struts here, when you close this tent down, they're on the inside. So it's not something external that can hang. Plus, as you can see, they're not getting weathered, because when it's closed up, they're not exposed to the weather. There's a flat surface right here, and the weather seal is here. Now, a couple of questions I've had asked about this tent. Does it leak? No. I've had it in at least 3 times that I know of, just crazy weather. It does not blow around in the wind. The tent's fairly tight, so it's not flopping in with you when you get a lot of wind. And I haven't had any leaks or any moisture getting in around any of the seams. None of the seams have had any kind of issues with them. I know some of them, they're double stitched, and then they put the glue or weld, whatever you want to call it, on it. And this one doesn't have the like the weld coating or whatever. I hope I'm saying that right. That's on some of the seams, but I seriously have not had an issue. Zippers, 0 issue. Not had any issues with the zippers at all. Another thing, it has 2 doors, so it has doors on either side, but it has the netting window and it has the actual tent material. Again, I'll put some of the details in the description of like thickness of the tent and that kind of stuff. The only other, I know I said that was probably the only negative I was going to say, was about the length. The rain fly, it's removable, or you can unzip it. And let me just hop up here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so the rain fly, if you don't need it deployed or whatever, you can unzip it, Velcroed here, it zips all the way. You can't completely remove it, but you can unzip it and roll it up and attach it up there. Has 2 poles, really easy. The latches, heavy duty, no issues at all with these latches. When I get this thing loaded down with bedding and everything, and I got to really clamp down on it, these are robust enough to have no issues. So inside the tent, let's see. Here's something. I'm not trying to get out of the sun here. I won't call this a negative, but so this is the door, technically the door, I guess, because this is what you can. I moved the ladder over to the passenger side, but the mounts for the ladder were back here. I may eventually change that. The only, I guess, and this is not really a negative, and this is weighted, has a bar in here to kind of hold this down. But on cold nights, when you zip this all the way down, So that since this doesn't zip all the way up, if there's a heavy wind, there's potential right here for wind to get in, because this is your door. So it only zips on the sides. There's not a zipper down here on the bottom. So the only thing that keeps this down is the zippers on the side and kind of the weight of that bar that's in there that kind of gives it its strength. So, like, I've never had this flapping or anything like that, but I will say there's been times where I've felt some air when it's been the nights I've stayed in it. I think the coldest I've been in this tent was 3 degrees, and you could feel some air coming through here. Now, with it all zipped all the way down, you still got, so when this is down, the material for the window or the door is about right here. So it's not like you're straight into netting, but some people may call that a negative. I don't really have any issues with that. Now these do have grommets here, so you can attach these up. If you don't have the rain fly, you can use your poles and attach this to that. But zip this up and kind of go on the inside here. Fully meshed windows on both sides. Again, the zippers are nothing very robust, but have worked fine. Just a normal zipper. I mean, it's a zipper. The inside of the tent is lined at the top. The center pocket there has a kind of a clear cover, so if you put an iPad or something in there, you could use that, I guess. I've tried to do it with an iPad. It's kind of at the wrong angle, but I get what they were trying to do. But pockets galore. So you got 3 pockets at the top, you got 3 pockets on the bottom if you use the clear one, and then over here you've got 2 pockets on each side. The lighting strip is on the way I have it oriented on my truck. It's on the driver's side. And they're super bright, no issues there at all. It's a diffused LED white light, so it's not like blinding, but they're very bright. As you can see through the tent, especially since the sun is shining. Let me see if I can zip this up a little bit. Now, okay, so this is kind of the weld material I was talking about right here. Like, it's this coating that's on there. Some of the seams, like around the stitching on the zipper, does have it. These do not. Actually, that does. But some of the seams I've noticed, like on the inside they're not on the outside, and I have seen some tents where it is on the outside too. So, but we'll zip this up for those of you who like to sleep in. When the sun comes up, it is bright in this tent. When the sun comes up, you're probably going to be waking up. It's not, as you can see, the material, it just lets a lot of light in, which is fine with me. I know that's not an issue I have. That doesn't bother me. It comes with a bag for your poles. It comes with a shoe bag, and we'll talk about the shoe bag here in a second. I've mounted it on the mounts for the tent. For the ladder. Right now, I normally just keep it on up here. I get in, take my shoes off, set them in there, and I just toss it down there. There's not a mount anywhere else on the tent for those. It's not one that slips into a groove anywhere or anything like that. There's 2 carabiners on the shoe bag, so you could easily mount anything on the extrusion on the outside to hook it onto. I haven't seen the need to do it. I'm always in here, for the most part, I'm in here by myself, so I've got more than enough room to throw it down there. I will tell you that the inside of this tent, I believe the mattress is 49 inches wide, so it's not quite a full. It's pretty close, but me and my brother, he's probably an inch, maybe an inch. He's right at 6 foot. He slept in here with me, and we're laying flat on our backs. Our shoulders are touching. If we are not touching the side of the tent. Now, if we get and kind of right up and get next to the tent, there's an inch or so between us. So for a couple or, you know, 2 people, for you and a kid, whatever, it's great. Me and my wife perfectly fine in here, me or either one of my daughters that go with me now, where there's no issues at all with us having room. That's pretty much it. I just kind of wanted to do a review of this. A couple of things people always ask. Does it have a condensation mat? Yes, it does. That's about a 1/2 inch thick. And then the mattress itself is around 2 inches, and it's pretty good. But as you can see here, I've put a 2-inch piece of memory foam. So I have 2 inches memory foam. I always keep one of these wool blankets in here, and I usually have my one of my down like Rumble blankets or one of the off-brand Rumble style blankets in here. So those are pretty thin, but they're very warm. So I normally keep one of those in here. My diesel heater that I run in this will keep this thing nice and toasty. I just run it through one of the windows. There's not a port anywhere on this tent for a diesel heater. So if you're running a diesel heater, pretty much just have to zip it up around thing. There's different things you can buy that attach the diesel heater to the zippers and different things. There's a couple of products out there that were 3D printed. It'll probably be worth it. I haven't had any issues. I just run my hose up here. I mean, people get as fancy or as primitive as they want with that, but that has nothing to do with the tent. Plenty of headroom. Like when I'm setting up, when I get set up, it's like any other clamshell tent. You're gonna have plenty of room. Changing clothes in here, it's not ideal, but you can do it. So for a clamshell style tent, I don't think you can beat it. It is very well made. I've slept in it 30, 40 nights maybe, and probably closer to 30 nights, I would say. Zero issues at all. It closes down super quick, super easy. I mean, I can't really say anything negative about it other than the length. And like I was talking about, this door that's kind of sitting on my head here. But to me, that's not my head's going to be here. My pillows are going to be right here. You know, it's not really that big of an issue. And like I said, through rain, storms, through the storms I've went through, I'm usually pretty diligent about knowing where the wind's going to be coming from, so I know where to park, so it's coming from that side, so I don't have to deal with it. Try not to park where the wind's hitting me on the side, but you can't always guarantee that's going to be the case. So with that, it's I'll say this: the times I have had it where I'm directly into the wind from coming to the side, it's not beating you to death where you think hey, it's just keeping you awake because it's so much movement. It doesn't make a bunch of noise. The hinges on the front are just like the latches on the back. They're very robust. I've not had any issues with those. I've had this thing out on the trail. Had it dang near covered in mud before. Washed it off the pressure washer. Haven't got water on the inside by doing that. Yeah, I mean, it's just an overall good tent. It's not. Only thing I will say, I'm an hardcore USA. I will do everything I can in my power and in my budget to buy something that's American made. I will pay more for something that is American made if I know it's American made, and have no problem and no gripe about it. If this tent was $2,000 and it was 100% guaranteed American made, I would pay $2,000 for this tent versus paying $1,000 for it from Amazon. I would do that all day, every day, and not hesitate. But unfortunately, I have not found a company that is doing a tent in the United States that it's legit in the United States. I mean, sometimes, there's some that are maybe assembling part, doing whatever, but for the most part, most of the companies are bringing them in from China, and that's fine. I wish them all the success. I have no issues with it at all. I know why they do it. I understand the cost of things. And to be profitable, because that's the name of the business, if you're going to be in business, you've got to be profitable. So I get it. But with that being said, that's why I did not hesitate to buy this tent. I knew it was coming from China, and I was comfortable buying it because it was coming from Amazon. So I knew I was dealing with Amazon, and they were doing the fulfillment on it. And so I'm assuming this Top B company does just like every other big company. They buy tents and they're just selling them on Amazon. I don't even know that you can get the Top B brand tent on Amazon anymore. I think it's another brand now. But regardless, I'll put a link to the tent. If it's still on Amazon or the one that's close to it, I'll put the link in the description to it. I'm not an affiliate on Amazon, so I'm not going to make anything off of it, but I'll put it on there in case you want it. But I just wanted to kind of go over a few of those little details. I've had a lot of people interested in how I've liked it, what I've thought about it and all that, and would I buy it again? 100%. Glad I bought it. Had to fight my daughter for it. She wanted to keep it on my JK. She slept in it at Overland Expo East. She loves it. She'll just generally likes how it looks on her Jeep. So, but anyway, it's really it. I've rambled plenty about it. The rivets are riveted into the bottom of that honeycomb. The top is a honeycomb material, so those rivets don't go all the way through. So again, no leaking, no issues whatsoever. So yeah. Okay, so the ladder is pretty much the same ladder you're going to get from any other company. I've had zero issues with it. The shoe bag is pretty simple. It's got some pockets here on the outside if you want to put some stuff in there. It'll easily hold 4-6 shoes, no issues with that. But it is done. Let me take it off. I'll show you how it hooks on. So this is how that mounts. It comes like this. It comes with those two carabiners, and like I said, I attach them there, but you could mount anything you want to be able to attach those, so that's kind of cool. But just a normal shoe bag, nothing fancy about that. The ladder is so far been good, except, and this was 100% my fault. The last time I used it, I set it up on a pretty good angle I was just in a weird position, and for whatever reason, now one of the sections on one side will not close. And I've not had that issue at all until I was on like I said, I didn't have the ladder setting on a level spot, so like one side was trying to go down farther when I was climbing up on it. Plus, I'm a big guy. I'm probably reaching the limit of the weight on it. But other than that, that's the only thing that I've had an issue with at all, and I'm not blaming the 10 on that at all, because this is pretty much a generic ladder. You can order these a bunch of different places, a bunch of different ways. But that's it. That's the ladder. I would collapse it down and show you, but that's next to impossible with a camera in my hand. But you basically are putting these in, push these in, and then the tent collapses down. I can do that one. So pretty much how that works. They work, like I said, it works well. I think human error kind of caused the problem. So, all right, well, I hope you liked the video. I hope that gave everybody a little peace of mind about the tent that's kind of been asking questions about it. Hope some of this helped, just to let you know that this thing's been used and abused. I haven't been overly protective of it, and man, it's been flawless. It's got a strap here that pulls the tent in. Like I said, there's nothing really negative you can say about the tent. It works very well, doesn't leak. The struts are strong. You got to put some pressure to get it down, but it closes up well, closes up tight. It doesn't make any noise riding down the road on my JK or on my Gladiator. I never had any issues with any crazy whistling or anything like that. Or just overall roars, anything at all. you pretty much don't know what it's up there. I believe it's around 120 pounds. Like I said, I'll put some of those details in the description of this video. I don't want to tell you wrong. This is kind of a flaw that this is, again, me when I changed the thing over. I don't know if you can see this. My ladder mount, I've lost a screw out of there, and that has just kind of eat away at the powder coating. But that is literally the only place that's happened, and that bad spot on there has pretty much been because of where I've mounted stuff, and now again, that was my issues. So there's places to get in the extrusion on both ends. So like this is where this is mounted, so if you need to put something on there, you can bring it in from that end. Same on all the extrusion all the way around it, and one on the top. So on the top you've got extrusion down here and you've got extrusions here. The hinges are powder coated, they're not left stainless. All the bolts are stainless, so they're not getting any rust. So for the most part, you can mount, I would be as thick as this is, I'd be comfortable mounting a awning or anything, shower tent or whatever to it. So I think that's it, guys. So I always put this up as high as I can get it. Get it up as high as you can get it. Now it's got a cord pulling it down. Then I just grab the handle here, stuff all this in. I bring it kind of all the way down, start letting some of the air. I always leave at least one of the windows open. Then I come in like anything else. Seen this before, I'm sure. And double check, make sure everything's in there. Get everything in there. Then hinges on, press down. All that in there. That is pretty much it. The ladder will fit inside the tent. I don't leave it in there just because it gets dirty and I've got a bed. When I was using it in the JK, I always put the tent in it. But this thing, it's a great tent. Hope you enjoy it.